Hello, hello. Welcome on into the show, everybody. It is Three Guys Before the Game. Number one most listened to sports podcast in the state of West Virginia. And now it's 454th episode. And oh, looky what we have here. We actually have three guys on the set. That's something new. Some guys show up for work. Other people, I don't know. Whatever. Good to have. If you turn to your right, Brad, his name is Hoppy. Hoppy. Hoppy's his name.
Welcome back. I'm just glad you're here. I won't open up taking shots at you. I'm glad you're back. Welcome back.
I appreciate that. It's good to be back. It's good to be welcomed back by one of the three guys.
I'm glad you're here because the theme of this show, one of the themes of this show is about you.
So I can tell we're between major seasons.
No, yes and no. So here we go. The title of the episode is Live Event Announcement v2.0. That's it. So for those of you that are regulars, you'll kind of know what I mean. For those of you that may have caught on here in the not too distant past, we'll get into that as well. The announcement is coming up. Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by our fantastic, I'm telling you what now, our fantastic collection of sponsors, which include the Burdett Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. Visit them at burdettcamping.com. Yes, still two T's next to each other, separated by E's. burdettcamping.com. That's BURDETTE camping.com. By the fine folks at Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. Tremendous folks at Comax Business Systems. Their stuff is in every county in this state. That's how good they are. Three Guys also brought to us by the people that sell family fun, Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. Nice enough day to be out on the water today. They're the number one pontoon dealer in the state of West Virginia. Lou Wendell Marine Sales, located in St. Albans. You can visit them at LouWendellMarineSales.com. That's LouWendellMarineSales.com. And by the folks at GoMart. Go for good times. Go for GoMart. They made news over the weekend on April the 1st. For more information, did you guys know that we have our own website there?
Excuse me?
GoMart.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
We have our own website within the GoMart website?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
No.
Yeah. GoMart.com/3guys. GoMart.com/3guys.com. If you go there. What'd you get, Hop?
Three gophers before the game.
Yeah, three gophers before the game. And then you can get in there all the stuff that's going on right now with the contest that they're having, the $500 super de-duper giveaway. The egg extravaganza goes until April the 30th. Yeah, there you go. Look
Which
at that.
gopher am I? Do I have the glasses or you have the, you wear your glasses all the time. Which one am I?
I don't really I wear them a lot, but I don't wear them all the time. But anyway, yeah, whatever.
You wear them
want
more
to
than I do.
Yeah, whatever you want to be.
Oh, okay.
So right now, up until April the 30th, sign up by going to that website. $500 GoMart gift card. 2 tickets to the Morgan Wallen. Am I pronouncing that right? Wallen? Wallen. Huge country music guy.
I'm not.
I'm sure it
familiar.
is.
Sorry.
I'm sure it is. Wallen. Yeah, in Pittsburgh. That's coming in July. 2 tickets to that. $500 shopping spree. Patio package, solo stove, Yeti cooler, Bluetooth speaker.
Wow.
Yep, bipper. So visit it. It's gomart.com/3guys. All right. Shall we? Spring football. We've reached the 3rd week already. Going fast. Going fast. Weather's been really good. Knock on wood. Weather should be good for the rest of this week. But on Saturday, when they went full scrimmage and the Mountain West officiating crew stepped out onto the field, yeah, Talk about things that don't make sense.
Go ahead and bring crew in from the Mountain West.
Mountain West crew. Huh? Wait? What?
There's
What?
no one east of the Mississippi available.
Could we
Talk about time zone confusion.
Yeah, really.
Did they know what time
Hope
the
the
scrimmage
Hope
started?
the Big 12 didn't set that up. Hope West Virginia dealt with them directly.
Mountain West people were out there anyway?
Officials showed up at 8 a.m. ready for the scrimmage.
Good to have him. Good to have him here.
But Nico Marchiol did not go because he was sick. Is that what
Yeah.
They said he was sick.
Yeah, but expected to return.
Yeah, I mean,
here this week. So no,
Not
it wasn't-
hurt, but sick.
that's like the new parlance. That's the new thing. Like when you're sick, what's that mean?
What do you mean?
Maybe a virus in the air. That's
What are you saying? I don't know what you're saying.
a lot of times when people nowadays they use the generic term "he's sick," and I'm not saying Nico does, but I'm saying that has become a standard for he's got COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, like, oh, what's going on? Like, hey, where's so and so? They go, they always and they get a little nervous too. They get a little right. They kind of like their shoulder goes up. Well, he's sick because no one can say anything. I'm not saying he is, but he'll be back. Whatever.
Garrett Green got the reps.
Garrett Green got a ton of reps, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Mountaineer baseballers win their opening series against the Kansas States, taking 2 out of 3. Won the edge games. Won the Friday, won the Sunday, lost the Saturday. So they're rolling along. They've got Marshall in Charleston. I believe that's a Go-Mart ballpark there in Charleston.
It is. Very good.
On Wednesday.
Very good.
So they'll meet up against Thunder Herd.
Did I read correctly? That's the first road team to win a series in Big 12 play this season. Did you see that stat rolling out there?
Oh, I didn't know that.
So West Virginia winning that road series, said they took 2 out of 3. That's the first road series win by a Big 12 team in Big 12 conference play this season.
Wow.
Now, they're just getting underway. Team's just
Sure.
a couple, 2, 3 series in, but that's significant.
Yeah, it's good to get
Good
those.
win.
So more
Friend of the program, J.J. Weatherholt, continues to roll.
Yeah. The old days, they'd say he's ripping the cover off that ball. The old one.
He's on a heater.
Yeah. Randy Mazey said going into yesterday's game that it was going to just like who can hit more home runs is what he said, because Sunday pitching, as you know, you're down. And so it was. They were cracking them out of there. But West Virginia did its share. And a friend of the program, Grant Hussey, had a homer and a double.
A nice swing.
Oh, Ted Williams-esque swing.
Lefty, hoppy.
Yeah.
Those
okay.
lefties always had a
Just
nice
a
swing from
skin
Parkersburg.
swing.
Just said,
Hey, cut to the business at hand.
Probably short fence on the right.
So we have been talking, folks, about our event that we're going to be holding. We're going to do our second live event of this podcast's history. And we're going to do it at a convenient time, we think, for the folks that will be coming in for the spring game or perhaps the TCU series. And we're rolling video now. Right there's Taylor in his tuxedo. That was when we did it back on January the 6th. And we had 50 people on hand, and it was fun. We did a live show, and then we went across the street. We had pictures here at the studio, and then we did the live show, which we'll do again. Then we went across the street, and on the 6th of January, we debuted Hoppy's now #1 selling craft beer in the state of West Virginia. And people have been, well, we're in over 35 locations selling it now in bars and places, but it's draft. And so it's not everyone has easy accessibility to it. We're going to change that. On April 21, we are going to debut for the first time cans of Lake Kerchevale. And it will be available in 16-ounce cans. And so this will be the release of the cans on 21 April. We're going to do the same type of a format. We're going to go over to the ale house. We're going to have the cans. We'll probably drink a draft, but people can buy the cans, whatever. But and then we're going to do the same food deal. Heavy food. We're going barbecue again. Same type of a deal. We're going to go brisket and pulled pork and sides and dessert. And I'll guarantee you, we will not run out of food. I got 16 pigs in the back of a truck that are going to be on standby, just in case anything gets. Bring another one in. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do.
Don't pick me.
Now the draft kerchevale is still available. Cans will be debuted, but you can still get draft. And
I think, folks,
that's still being produced.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you'll still be able to get that. So that's what we're going to do. We invite you to do it, and during that presentation, that live show, we'll also release our plans of what we're going to do in the future. We'll have some merch. We'll have apparel that you can look at, and we'll give you some other information as to what we want to do going forward. So here's the deal. Tickets are limited. Once again, limited number of tickets. I know last time it was gone in like 8 or 10 minutes. That's awesome. Under whatever. So here is the time of day. Eastern time. Tickets on the website will go on sale at 6 p.m. Wednesday, April 5. 6 p.m. Wednesday, April 5. You go to the site. The site is the number 3, guysbeforethegame.com. The number 3, guysbeforethegame.com. You can go there and you'll see the invite and the details and those types of things soon, but Wednesday at 6 p.m. on sale. And that's it. And we'd love to have you. Weather should be great, which means we can go across the street to the Apothecary Ale House, and they've got that huge courtyard out there, and we weren't able to use it on the 6th of January, but we would hope that we can spill out into that as well.
So there's the V2 event, live event V2.
Live
Here we
V2.
go. Here we go.
Sorry?
You're going to be able to be there?
I'll let you know.
Hoppy will be there. This time he promised that he was going to get there. Like last time, he was delayed in getting there because he couldn't get across the street because, I don't know, House Bill 62.3, someone had a question whether or not the task force of the subcommittee over the overhearing committee could have the majority before the speaker pro tem could make a ruling. They needed to check it with Hoppy. So he was the guy that delayed the actual draft of his beer coming out. But anyway, he says he'll be there this time.
I'll be there.
You know what?
I had a little trouble getting kerchevale last week.
Oh, Hoppy, really? Here, Hoppy, here's the funny thing how small West Virginia is.
Yeah.
Brad and I knew and know exactly what happened. We're going to let you tell your story. We're going to give you my story first. I was informed that at one point last week, you were seen in the parking lot of this building with 3 of your growlers in your hands. Like
empty growlers.
3 empty growlers in the parking lot, basically walking in a circle, mumbling to yourself.
Spinning
to yourself. And you were not happy.
Close.
Yeah. Then on Friday, I went over to the Chestnut Brew Works, who has made this unbelievable concoction. And Amber, who's just terrific over there, Amber, I said, did Hoppy come in and get some beer? And she said, she had this look. They just went, ooh. And she goes, I felt so bad. I said, what happened? She goes, he came in. He didn't have a growler. We didn't have any growlers or crawlers, which are the 32-ounce cans. And so I didn't have anything to give him the beer in. And he was noticeably upset. And he said, but it's my beer. I said, well, did he come back? She said, yes, he came back the next day. He had his growlers. I think Bill took you over into the side room where the new batch is brewing. Now, can you help us a little bit?
That's a general framework of what happened. So I was off last week, and I was going to go to the Eastern Panhandle to see my brother.
Well, sure.
So I got to take some kerchevale.
Yeah.
So Monday, I go to Bill's. I go to Chestnut Brewery. Not open. Not open on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Well, they're open on Wednesday.
Okay, I understand that. So I wait till Wednesday. So Wednesday comes, and I go to Apothecary.
Yeah.
And with my growlers, 2 of them, and they say, we're out of kerchevale.
So you had to leave with your growler
So
still in hand.
I left with, but I bought. I'm not sure why I did this. I bought a couple crawlers.
Yeah.
Just the cans.
Yeah.
I wanted to like load up whenever the beer was in fact available at some
Sure.
point. And they said go to Jeans. Okay. So I got crowlers and I got crawlers and I got growlers.
That should have been the name of the episode right there.
Growlers and crawlers.
I got crawlers and growlers. Yeah.
But no beer.
See,
Empty.
that should've been-
Empty's empty.
Yeah.
So I thought, and this is, and
Now
I'm
you're
leaving-
headed to Jeans with all of your stuff, but no beer yet.
Right.
Okay.
And this was, I think, this was Thursday because I'm leaving Thursday to go to the
Yeah.
Eastern Panhandle.
Sure.
So now we've got a time crunch underway.
got a time crunch underway.
Sure.
So I thought I can go to Jeans. And I thought, you know what? I'm going back.
Go back to the
Chestnut.
mothership. Yeah.
Go to the home
and I know
base.
they're not open till 4 in the afternoon, but I
He sat in.
I
he sat in
parked there and I banged on the door.
No, you didn't.
I banged on the door. Bill, let me in.
Did he come?
Yeah.
He was there. He was in.
So Bill was there. So it's closed.
So
but,
when he opened the door, what was
Garage door or the door to
well,
the
I banged
pub?
on the garage door, but he let me in the main door.
Okay, so when he opened the door, what was it like when he saw you and then you saw him? Was he like happy? I mean, because
It was all cool. Like, hey, come on in. Like, okay.
yeah, but
Were
they
you
had to get
relaxed
I would think
or
they
were
got
you like on you were on
Well, I
10?
know you guys always think
You were
I'm
tight.
on edge anyway.
You were on edge at that moment because you've got a lot of things with you that aren't filled with beer and you're leaving soon. There is no way you were relaxed when Bill came to the door. No chance. Right?
No, we were fine. Went in, and I said, Bill, I got some beer. and Bill said, no problem. Come on in. I said, no, you're not open.
Give him
but I
a
really got to
fix.
get some kerchevale.
Yeah, there you were.
So he filled me up, and then also we had another stop by from Jeans.
Yeah, you made a pickup there too.
No, the guy from Jeans.
Al
stopped there.
Sweet Al. Oh, Al came in too.
Al came in too.
How? So you had Al and Bill together.
Al and Bill
That's
together.
a good meetup.
That's a good. That's like Simon and Garfunkel.
If I had more time, we'd had a couple kerchevales right there. But
Yeah.
So filled up the growlers, took them to the Panhandle.
Big hit. Nick liked him. Big hit. Yeah.
Nick, his wife Sherry. They had a friend that was over. My wife. We all toasted kerchevale on the deck of his home outside of Bakerton.
That's
Very
awesome.
nice.
Thank God Bill came through.
I know it was tight.
Well, now
Took
you
you
got
4 days to get some.
the hassle of having to get growlers and crawlers and drafts is about to come to an end because this bad boy's going into cans, and you can bring it, take it wherever you want, and that's starting on
12 ounce or 16 ounce.
16s.
Wow, big boys.
Well, not really. 16's a pleasant drink.
So April 5, 6 p.m. East.
April 5, 6 p.m. Tickets go on sale. Go to the number 3guysbeforethegame.com for information.
By the way, Bill didn't charge me for it.
Yeah, I know. It's part of the deal. Yeah.
I did have to pay for the crawlers though. At
Well, they don't know.
Oscar.
They have no idea who you are.
no,
over
they
there.
knew. No, it was Grace was there.
And she charged you.
That's all right. They're in business.
Darn right. It's all about business. That's what this show's about, helping people in business. Okay, so that's
Well,
what's
that's
going-
cleared up.
Yeah, that was easy to do.
It did take me 4 days though.
But when we got the report that you were walking around our parking lot with 2 growlers underneath your armpits, mumbling to yourself, pissed off, he and I, we were joyful. We absolutely were giddy. We're going, this is so good. This is so good.
You wanted me to be
Yes,
in distress.
Like when the guy told us, we went, perfect. Oh boy.
I was getting a tad frustrated.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. All right.
But
So
anything good is worth
absolutely.
the effort.
All right. So here we go. Spring football. Beautiful day on Saturday as the Mountaineers wrapped up week number 2. As I said a moment ago, Nico Marchiol was not available to practice, which meant Garrett Green got a ton of snaps. Doug Nestor didn't practice. Zach Frazier has not been practicing. So the whole thing's not pieced up there. With that being said, Senator, what'd you see?
Saw a lot. Before they start scrimmaging, those are sometimes difficult. There's so much going on. You got to try and focus on some things. You know who jumped out? The punter jumped out to me. Did we establish that was Leighton Bechtel? that was booming those? The numbers are all messed up on the punters there.
Yeah, they keep changing the numbers.
Someone was booming punts.
I was worried that the Medvac helicopter from WV Medicine, if it went over, was going to get hit, like underneath it. Because, yeah, there was a couple that came off. You went like, whoa, booms. Then you got Oliver Straw. He's not giving the job up. So you got competition. That's good.
So we just saw some drills for the first part of that. Running backs were catching the ball out of the backfield, right? Has been talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen it yet. Yeah, so it's talked about a lot, Hoppy, at this time of year. Going to get the running backs involved. A little bit more. You have to see it. But that would make some sense with this particular team.
Yeah, and well, I wasn't there, so I'll let you guys talk about it. I have a couple points too, but you guys talk about what you saw because I wasn't there.
Well, again, I think the interesting thing is obviously Devin Carter. People want to keep laying their eyes on him.
Good height, good size.
Good height, good size. And you just kind of want to say, okay, what will this translate to in the season? Is he a guy that day one can go out on the field at Penn State, line up, and make catches?
You need a couple of him, Carter, Cortez Braham, Jeremiah Aaron, who's returning some punts out there too. Of those three, all three of them, I think, need to be factors. Two of them probably need to be dudes out there for a receiving group that's wide open.
Yes.
We saw Rodney Gallagher. He wasn't in uniform, of course. He was there watching, so walking along the sidelines, he's going to get in there and get some time as well. The other guy, Hoppy, that I think needs to be really good for West Virginia, Montre Miller, the cornerback coming in from Kent State. He's a guy, he needs to return to. You went through Alonzo Adai coming from Maine. Didn't know anything about Alonzo Adai. Okay, it seems like it's okay. Turns into an all Big 12 performer. You get a guy, Charles Woods, comes in from Southern Illinois. Okay, that's a nice addition. Give you some depth. Turns into an all Big 12 type performer. They've had some hits on these guys moving up a level. Now, last year it didn't happen, right? Between injury, lineup shuffling, those guys just didn't hit at that level. They need to return to that. Montre Miller, I think, has to be a guy that by week 3, when we're coming on the pregame show, we're saying, oh, they have a pretty good receiver? Great, Montre Miller's going to be on him. I like that matchup for West Virginia. He's got to not just be a guy that plugs in and plays 10, 11, 12 games for you. I think he's got to be a guy, maybe not all Big 12 caliber, but he's got to be a guy that's really good. We watched him. They're using him on some punt coverage, right, because of his speed. So he's a guy I was interested to see out there.
Going back to the receivers, yesterday I was looking at some numbers and some names, and you guys have mentioned it, but for several years now, we've talked about receivers and receivers making big plays, and it just has not been there on a consistent level. So you look at this crew and you say, okay, who's going to be the guy or guys? And you mentioned them. I mean, can Gallagher, as a true freshman, can he step in and play early and at least maybe not be the guy, but be a guy?
Let's keep this in mind. I'm going to jump in. I know you're going to. Everyone needs to take a breath on that one. I hope folks don't have unrealistic expectations for any true freshman to come in and make plays. And I say that simply for this reason. Just do a historical study on this. How many true freshmen, skill guys at receiver have come in and put up numbers that make you go, whoa. It's rare. I
understand.
think what he needs to, a realistic expectation, I would think, is that he gets on the field, that he'll make a few plays, but I hope people don't think like 40 balls or something like that.
All right, I'll put it in numbers for you. Here's what I think. I think if you're in that 20 to 25 range, that's a fantastic season.
Yeah, fantastic.
So what I think from a Rodney Gallagher standpoint, if you can get 20 catches and it's 238 yards and there's 2 touchdowns where it's a couple plays that he takes a slant across the middle, gives you 2 shakes, and he goes 63 yards for a touchdown, and we go, look at that. So you can see what's there, but you can't expect Rodney Gallagher to dominate in a Big 12 game. But I think that's reasonable to have.
That's fair.
A couple catches per game.
2 catches a game
with 2-3 touchdowns on the season because they broke it and he showed you some wiggle and waggle. I think that's a really good freshman year performance.
Let's go to Devin Carter, who I know he looks like the guy. I mean, he's a little thin, you said, Tony, but he's
No,
6'4".
I did not say that. The other guy next to you said that.
Brad said it.
Thinner than he thought he
Thinner
was.
than I thought when I saw him live.
Yeah. He's played a boatload of football, right? I mean, this is like his 9th year. I mean, he played at NC State forever. He has 118 catches, 1,906 yards, averaged 16 yards a catch last year, 10 touchdowns. So he's played. But I looked, and I know that, Brad, as you pointed out before the show, NC State, they played everybody but you at quarterback last year. I mean, they had a lot of quarterback problems. But he only had one game. He had one game with 5 catches and one game with 4. The rest was 2 or 1 or none. I think he was injured a little bit too. So can he give you can he have a game where he has 6, 7, 8 catches, especially when you have an experienced quarterback? You know, who is the guy? Because you need a guy, right?
Absolutely, you guys.
Is it Aaron, who had 12 catches last
Jeremiah
year?
Aaron? Or
is it a ton? You know, and I don't want to, this is an awkward connection to make, but I did not know till I came back, Tony, and started catching up on the news that Mickey Walczak passed away. Yep. And Mickey Walczak played in 79, 80, 81 in there. And Mickey Walczak was very effective at catching the ball out of the backfield. In that bowl game in 1981 when West Virginia beat Florida, he had 8 catches for 75 yards in the bowl game out of the backfield. That's what he did well. So now do you have one of these running backs who catches 5, 6 passes out of the backfield?
I think that's realistic. Yeah, I do. I do. I think they trust a lot of those guys with catching the ball out of the backfield. Yeah, I do. I think that's realistic. Now, I'm not saying one guy's going to have it, but I don't think there's – okay, let's just do this math. It's not unrealistic to think that on average West Virginia will have 6 to 9 passes per game caught out of the backfield. Fair? Too high?
It might be high.
6?
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think you need to see it. This is one of those common spring themes where it's we're going to throw the ball to the guys out of the backfield. We're loaded at running back. Might move somebody over to a slot. Might get a receiver. Might get a running back in a slot. You get that a lot.
Are you coming on me right now with football is the biggest lying sport that there is when it comes to what they say they're going to do and what they don't do?
There's a lot of misdirection.
A
lot of misdirection.
It's the lead leaguer.
And I know sometimes the intention is there, and then you get into it, and you're like, well, I don't know. He's catching the ball as well.
Let me interrupt. You know what happens is they say, we might move it, and then they get tight. The coaches get tight.
Like,
and say,
I don't know. We want to
do
that. Now, if you look at the skill set of this particular group of running backs, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? C.J. Donaldson for one.
Get him the ball.
A guy that Neil said last year, once they got greased up as a running back, what did they then start to move to with him? Neil would say, we're going to try and throw him the ball a little bit more. You saw them do that in a couple of those games where they tried to feed him. So I think this group, it's more likely that happens, but I also think we need to be careful. You can go back about 4 different coaches, and this is a theme that is said in the offseason.
I'm going to adjust my number 4 to 6.
Put the number. Put it at 5.
1 a quarter. 4.
I'll do some number research there for you.
Okay, fine.
NC State played 4 quarterbacks last year.
Yeah.
Devin Leary played in 6 games, the starter. So did that affect his number some?
I'm sure.
No question it did. No question.
These are also really important practices. What gets left out in the spring ball is we talk about the guys we just talked about, the big name guys, but your depth and who coaches can trust is happening right now. So guys that you may never even hear a whole lot of their name, if their name at all, like who's going to be the second string guy at this position in the offensive line? Who could be a capable swing guy back and forth? That's what's being developed right now. So young guys, like for example, I'll give you a name, Dylan Ray, John Ray's son. Been here now in the program a couple of years. Put on a ton of weight. Neil mentioned him in his very first spring press conference. So the spring practice for him is a huge thing. This is the time he has in 1 month to show assistant coaches and show the coaching staff, you can trust me in the fall. I can be your guy. In his particular case, he's still a walk-on. And, nowadays, you want to be on scholarship, obviously. So he is battling for everything. He's battling for scholarship. He's battling for playing time. He's battling to be one of the guys. Those are the true things that go on in spring that oftentimes people don't talk about. We sit here and talk about Garrett Green and Nico Marchiol and Devin Carter and everything we already know, C.J. Donaldson, da-da-da. But there's about 18 to 25 Dylan Race stories that go on every time the team goes out onto the field that you'll never even hear about. But that's when guys make their mark and say, I got it. I'm in. You guys can trust me. And other guys don't. They're the ones that when spring ball's over on April the 24th, on that Monday after, that's when you're going to hear this person's decided to go somewhere else. Oftentimes, it's because they didn't get enough of a pop in spring ball that they know they're not going to play, and so they go somewhere else. So that's what's really the essence of spring ball, the way I look at it.
Yeah.
2 quick numbers. Running backs last year for West Virginia had 26 receptions.
2 a game.
Okay, 26.
Yeah.
The year before, in 2021, 45 receptions, 36 of them from Letty Brown.
Letty Brown, yeah.
So it's realistic. Yeah, so it's realistic.
So that's
then.
71 over 2 seasons.
And they implicitly trusted Letty out of the backfield catching the ball. And I would think the same thing.
And needed a playmaker, right? That team, okay, that was a guy you could depend on that when he got the ball in his hands, he was going to do something. So they found a way to do that more.
Wait, I think to talk with those guys over there on the offensive side, but just like, junior play caller here, it would seem to me as C.J. Donaldson in the backfield, lining up, and then going in motion pre-snap, the ability to throw it down in some form of a receiver screen or a bubble screen or something like that to get him turned up, shoulders now his shoulders are turned up, and that's a hell of a block or a hell of a tackle to make. If you get that guy with a perfectly thrown ball in speed, shoulders going square to the line, boom, that's a couple of yards.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then, okay, now play that forward. While we've got the whiteboard out here and we're just drawing up plays, I'm sure this will be well received.
You think Chad Scott might have to tune into this one?
Probably.
Yeah.
They probably haven't thought of that. They probably haven't thought of getting CJ in motion and get him to the line with his shoulder square. I guarantee someone over there is going, unbelievable guy. You're going to have to listen to these guys. Listen to what they just gave.
They thought
probably never thought of that with CJ Donaldson.
Yeah.
But the other thing it does in all seriousness, because you're right, of course that's going to be used. The other thing it does, you get that a couple times. Now you get some linebackers moving or some safeties have to move. And you get a little Cole Taylor down the seam.
Bingo.
Just solve the offensive problems. There we go. Probably just added 9 points a game to the scoring average there. Kerchevale.
Once again, three guys helping small businesses and big football teams. Thanks for being with us. It's good to have you here. 3 guys before the game brought to us by the Burdett Camping Center. Right now, unbelievable deal on a fifth wheel. It's the Forest River Rockwood Ultralight fifth wheel, and it's $10,000 off. You go outside today as we record, man, you're going like, ooh, good weather is here, good weather is coming. You'd like to be out there. Think of those days and the fun that you can have. Forest River Rockwood Ultralight fifth wheel. Check out their whole deal. They've got many, many more at burdettcamping.com. That's burdettcamping.com, located in Winfield. All right, so with that all being said, we'll see how week 3 develops for the Mountaineers. Basketball, Final Four, championship game. Tonight, UCONN and San Diego State. Been an interesting Final Four, to say the least. Unbelievable dramatics on Saturday for San Diego State to beat FAU. Man.
Didn't call the timeout. Come down, shoot.
Yeah. Play.
So those leave a scar. Those leave a scar forever for FAU. You'll always go, woulda, coulda, shoulda. However, I think as time goes on, they'll look back at that accomplishment just to get to where they were, and you got to cherish that, embrace that moment. Guy hits a shot against you. That was one half
that
of
is
it.
really, boy, that is a tough one, though. You're right. Historic season. I don't know how those two things aren't forever linked. I don't know how you can ever separate just the joy that we got to the Final Four without immediately being followed by the next wave of emotion of, can you believe that? I mean, can you believe we got beat? That is hard to break apart there.
Well, think about Jerry West. They play for the championship game against California, which is now over 60 years ago, heading towards 65 years ago. And people to this day right, that were around that. What do they say?
Well,
Jerry got in foul trouble.
Got in foul trouble.
Jerry got in foul. You never know. West Virginia plays for the football championship in '88. What are we always going to say? Major got hurt. So you're right. It always leaves. You can't embrace and enjoy that whole season because the end was.
Yeah, and at least those you can always live in the what if. If Major hadn't gotten hurt, or West Virginia's winning that game. I mean, you want to approve. This was, and that's a tough shot. You mentioned they didn't call the timeout. He goes down into the corner, and you can see what a great play. You can see just a moment of like, what am I doing here? Because he turned, and the first move got stopped. Yeah. And you saw a minute of like he got real quick with his move, and then he gathered himself and elevated, and he got up so quick the defender didn't have a chance to jump with him. So the defender's caught getting his hand up, but he couldn't elevate with the kid. And the kid's just slightly moving left a little bit. I mean, that was a great offensive play to compose himself and then hit a massive shot.
I know you're right about what woulda, coulda, shoulda that fans and those players will always think, but from a larger perspective, it's Final Four team. You know, that is a pinnacle. I mean, so often that is how teams are judged. Well, the Final Four. I mean, you want to win the national championship, but it's such a high bar to get to the Final Four that in and of itself is viewed as an exceptional accomplishment. So you don't lose anything by losing that game. Oh, Final Four team.
It's a great accomplishment. You have no affiliation with FAU, so you don't care that they lost. That's intensely burned into their psyche forever. You don't care. You can move on and say, what a great achievement. Yeah. You don't care. They will not shake that. They will absolutely never shake that.
Wow,
that stinks.
Yeah, that'll live with it.
I mean, you never get by that. You were leading with less than a second to go to get to a national championship game, and yet you're at home today. That's hard, man. Great season, a wonderful accomplishment. You can't shake how that ended.
Okay, all right.
You can. They can't.
Over the weekend as well.
I did.
Hey, you've moved on.
Well, I just thought it was a great fit. It was a great game, great finish.
Right.
You know, watching the game, like, oh, wow. You know, because we have no interest.
You don't,
correct.
exactly.
You don't care about them. Right. So you just want a good game.
Good game.
Great.
Move on.
We move on about our day. They're not. They're not moving on about their day.
Ever.
Women's basketball. Expecting West Virginia to name its new head coach at some point this week. I appeared earlier today on a occasional public affairs talk show, and it was attacked. I say, by the host.
Attacked.
By the host, he's asking for the social security number of the new coach.
I mean,
true.
You just said
take a deep breath.
You said confidently.
It'll be this week.
So I asked a natural follow-up, but what else do you have on that? I mean, you spoke confidently, so I thought maybe you know the name. And so it was a natural follow-up by somebody who asks tough but fair questions.
Wouldn't even be surprised if it was Wednesday. But anyway, wouldn't stun me one way or the other. So West Virginia will name its new coach this week, and then we'll have all of that and all the interesting things there. We're really well-versed at being able to introduce a new coach to you and do that whole thing of what's the thing is going to be like, because we just did it 13 months ago or 12 months ago, for that matter. You know, something hit me this weekend. So I was my dog was walking me. I don't walk him anymore. He walks me. He tells me when I'm going to stop. And anyway, but that's beside the point. The way that Don Plitzowite left still makes me scratch my head. No public statement once? I still went like
a stunning misstep.
I still say to myself, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What the heck? What was so bad that you don't even say, hey, thank you, really enjoyed it, didn't expect this, and wish you guys the best? Not one syllable? For someone who, as Brad likes to say, won the press conference, right? And won the season too. But I mean, someone who as I said in the commentary, was very, very good at first impressions.
I said it on your show. I said it on this show. The show after she left, it was a stunning misstep from someone who had handled the PR stuff as well as she had handled the on-court stuff. Yeah. Their marketing was A+. Her appearances on our shows were A+.
Absolutely.
She got that side of things. She'd endeared herself. She was doing a great job in all aspects. To just pull an Indianapolis Colts, a Baltimore Colts, and pack up in the middle of the night and go away with no word. It's a stunning move. I'm still surprised by it.
Let's flip this. Let's flip this, because what we're talking about is public relations. Okay?
Yeah.
And Brad, in the somewhere in every sports information's hard drive, they have, okay, give me this statement that says, I enjoyed my experience here. I'm forever thankful to et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this opportunity came up. It's very hard for me to leave. I'll forever remember. Print that out and send it out. Whether they mean or not. So maybe what we got is an actual accurate representation of who she is and her feelings about the move. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but theoretically, she has an agent, right? I mean, what's the agent collecting a commission for?
Well, then, I'm going to go.
The agent produces that. West Virginia is not going to produce a statement about a coach leaving, so they're out. She says she's leaving. That's West Virginia says, okay, see ya. We're out. We're not doing your PR anymore. You handle your own PR here. She's theoretically got an agent. I mean, I would think she has an agent. What's the agent doing? The agent should already have, when negotiations began with Minnesota, the agent should have also had the exit statement written so that the moment that is out, that can be sent out, and there's your statement from Don Plitzaway.
Okay. But again, I'm taking the other side, saying this, then if you don't get the PR statement, then all you have to go on is this is an accurate representation of her view about changing jobs and leaving West Virginia. You cannot realistically have any other view because nothing else was said.
Yeah, just weird. That's what hit me. Just like, that was weird. I guess that's like when guys and girls are they stop dating. Someone just cuts. They call that ghosting. Is that what that is, Brad?
I think that's a term that's used now.
That's what they use nowadays.
Ghosted. West Virginia got ghosted.
We got ghosted. Got ghosted. See you later. Good to have you.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, my point to all that was,
next up, go make a good hire.
Yeah.
You made a good hire last time. Go make a good hire.
Yeah. I think they are.
Was it a good hire?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a good hire.
Went to the NCAA tournament. You can't control like how long you're going to stay. She came in, got him to the NCAA tournament. Yeah, that was a good year. Read a whole different roster. Yes.
You're getting fidgety. It's not debatable. It was a good year.
Yeah.
Which makes it a good hire. So coach leaves, so you go hire another one. That's what the AD's hired for.
Yeah, it was a good hire. Absolutely.
All right.
You can't control. You don't know what someone's going to do on the other side of it, right?
Well, you have a contract. I mean, they're going to
get paid for it.
You don't hire someone and believe it's a great hire and expect them to leave in a year. It happens, okay, and AD's paid a lot of money, go find somebody. I get that, but that's not the expectation.
No, it's not the expectation, but
it doesn't make it a bad hire. You can say it's not the expectation, and it doesn't make it a bad hire.
I'm totally with him on this one.
Yeah, you're forcing a narrative.
That was a good hire, dude.
And it's not debatable. It was a good hire. The way it ended stinks for West Virginia. It's too bad.
And now when
you thought you were going to keep it free, but it doesn't change the fact it was a good hire.
And now when they go out to hire now, one of the things they just sold was 4 different coaches at West Virginia have taken the women's basketball program to the NCAA tournament. You can get to the NCAA tournament from here. She did it. She became the 4th. So she helped. She helped the program. Believe it or not. You don't want the turmoil, but she helped. Anyway, always a West Virginia connection. Championship game yesterday, LSU and Iowa. Jasmine Carson, who went off for 22 points in 22 minutes. Just wowed. She was hot as hot can be and was key. And she played at West Virginia. Transferred from West Virginia. Just amazing performance by her, but to no surprise, always a West Virginia connection no matter where you go. So she went 7 of 8 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3, 3 of 4 at the foul line.
What did they shoot? I mean, they were making everything. What did they shoot?
They shot.
It was 75% from 3 in the first half.
Finished the game at 65% from 3. They went 11 of 17 from 3.
Yeah, Iowa's game plan was to force them to shoot, and they stepped up and made it.
Okay.
Yeah, it worked.
Plus the inside game. I mean, they couldn't stop the big girl.
Bob Starkey, a West Virginia native, is also part of that game last night. He's on Kim Mulkey's bench as an assistant. If you want another West Virginia connection there. Longtime SEC assistant on the women's and men's side.
I have on this podcast on a few occasions defended officials
Yes, you have.
in the sport of basketball, and I stand by those previous comments. However, sometimes an officiating crew has a off day, bad day, whatever word you want to use. Unfortunately, it came in the national championship game yesterday, and the officials became the storyline to the game. And you can go back to any call. Did it decide the outcome of the game? No, I'm not going to go there. But from an officiating standpoint, allowing Kim Mulkey on that sideline in the first half to lose her mind and then make contact with an official, and then if you watch it close enough, like swing out after the official left. Now, she wasn't trying to hit the official, but she did. That was absolutely the worst non-technical foul called of the season. That's an embarrassment for those officials to let her. She just controlled them. Gave him the old Benny Hill treatment. Remember Benny?
Mm-hmm.
Give you the head taps. They were intimidated by her. Instead of just ringing her up and going, oh, is this what we're going to be? Is this what we're doing today? Boom. Instead, they're calling this ticky-tack stuff on the floor. Anyway, got to be fair. They had a bad day. Happens.
You know, the technical foul on Clark was at a, and maybe that should have been, probably.
Didn't need to call it.
But that also came at a critical time because they shot, I think they only made 2 of them, but I think the LSU shot like 4 free throws and had the ball back. And, Iowa was capable of making runs, and maybe they wouldn't have caught up because they couldn't stop LSU. But no,
LSU deserved to win the game. LSU deserved to win the game.
Yeah, they played great.
They played better. They deserved to win the game. I'm just saying, unfortunately, people were talking more about the officiating than anything else. However, go back to Friday night. I think women's basketball as a whole took a gigantic step. Did you see the numbers of the TV ratings on that game? I mean, it's there. I mean, that was one of the all-time classic games. I mean, you can't write up that script. The undefeated team, defending national champion against an upstart Iowa team. And just Caitlin Clark, the way that she played, that was awesome.
Doing it against a team coached by one of the legendary women's basketball players in Dawn Staley, right?
Yep.
Somebody that pushed the game forward. Most watched game on ESPN, men's or women's, since 2008 was the number on that. It was an unbelievable performance by Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, it was
just an incredible performance.
Well,
that was fun.
I'll tell you, Tony, the old story. What do you have to have? You have to have an attraction.
You have to have an attraction, and the attraction you got to have. We always say players. You have to have someone that makes you go, whoa. Okay, I mean the way she plays, people don't play that way. How many people? I mean, go watch games. How many people are at full speed when they pull up and shoot? It's unbelievable.
That Iowa team, too, was fun to watch. Very, as I was watching it, very Beeline-esque.
Pass the heck out.
A lot of motion, great passing, minimal dribbling. They were a fun team to watch. Yep. That Friday night was outstanding. I wish yesterday's game had been closer throughout to give us one of those. Just wasn't. LSU just dominated from the start.
Mountaineer baseball team, as I said, rolling along, nationally ranked. And now on Wednesday, Marshall, West Virginia, in Charleston, at the Three Guys Before the Game Stadium. Is that the name of it? That's not
something like that.
Go-Mart Stadium. My bad.
Go-Mart / Three Guys Before the Game Stadium.
Exactly. Hey, a reminder to you, if you're a business owner, Comax has you covered when it comes to your business data, your security within your business, and your IT support. All you have to do is give them a jingle, and they will come in and give you a free estimate on how they can help you, whether it's your safety of your data or your business systems, your phone systems. Whether you need one phone line, 1,000 phone lines, they've got it all. All the options are available to you. Call Comax for a free price quote. ComaxWV.com. They become your partner and allow you to focus on your business so you don't have to worry about your data, your documents, and all those kind of things. Say, are you ready to do this thing? Are you ready to do this thing? Do it! Oh, wrong song. That spreads on stats ready.
Wow, you
didn't have any spread.
Songs.
Yeah, I know.
Library's not very deep.
There it is. This song written and produced by David Saab, official music producer of Three Guys Before the Game. He's in, by the way, for the live event on April the 21st. Committed. Remember what happened last time?
He ghosted us.
He ghosted us. So he came in this weekend and he hit me up with an email and said, dude, and I said, okay. So we're going to introduce him. He's been a big part of the show.
He has been.
Right? His music resonates. It stays in people's heads. Had a story about that this weekend when we were over at football practice on Saturday. Someone came up to us. Taylor, go ahead and send that. While I'm talking about that, pop that shot up of the selfie that we did, if you would. There you go. So,
That's Scott and Josh from Martinsburg.
Yeah,
at practice there.
Yeah, Scott's got the hat on. So he's an assistant football coach. I think he works with the freshman quarterbacks at Martinsburg. And he said, we had a little marketing session with him.
Focus group.
Big Three Guys listener, listens when he mows lawn. He got a bunch of acres. He's like a multi-millionaire, mineral rights owner, I believe.
Mineral rights. No land now, but they still have the mineral rights.
And I may have overestimated the worth. But anyway, he said, you guys don't want to, he said, I listen when I cut, but you guys don't want to know where I listen. Other than that, I said, yeah, we want to know where you listen. In the shower. So he says, yeah, we're in the shower. So it was good to see him.
How long a shower does he take?
About an hour and 20 minutes. Sounds like.
I don't know that this is a whole episode.
Run out of hot water.
I mean, busy guy. You got to listen where you can listen.
So anyway.
Hear where they listen.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
It was good to see him. Appreciate those guys for coming out.
Great to see him.
Texter, listening to the podcast this morning, please remind Pat from Wheeling that we gals also enjoy listening to Three Guys. Looking forward to the release of Kerchevale in April, the cans. Sure hope some of those cans find their way to Parkersburg. Thanks, Kathy from Washington.
Thanks, Kathy.
That's Washington, West Virginia.
Yeah, Washington, near Parkersburg.
Sure, Wood County. We probably have not done a good enough job in our distribution in the Wood County.
The Ohio Valley region is obviously.
Yeah. We're in 30. We're over 30 places.
You think it's underserved over there?
No pun intended. Yeah. I received this text as well. Genuine Mothmanning in Point Pleasant.
Oh my!
So there's like a Mothman guy with a human head and got the Mothman suit and got a beer in his hand.
What is that? One of those picture things? Like you can go put your face in it and get a picture made?
Yeah, I think so.
How'd the Kerchevale get in there?
I don't know, but he's happy. Texter, Three Guys. You had a text complaining about the use of WVA as an abbreviation for this fine state. I drive a truck, so I listen to sports on Sirius XM. During the basketball season, I was searching for the Sirius XM station so I could listen. The announcer listed 2 games back-to-back, which blew my mind. The first one was Duquesne. The second game was Western Virginia playing a Big 12 football game. It ticked me off as much as you mispronouncing Illinois, not pronounced, and Des Moines. Signed by Frank in Clarksburg.
Isn't that AI? They're on artificial. Isn't that computerized?
When they on the Sirius XM thing?
Yeah.
When they go like, today's coverage of college basketball beginning at noon.
Yeah.
Western Virginia against Nebraska at 1 p.m.
Yeah, isn't that?
I think that's a human, actually.
Do you?
It sounds like a robot. Texter, hey, Spreads, what was the line on the PVSK Panthers game Sunday, and who'd you have? Cheers, Sean in Washington State.
That was Chase Harler's game on Sunday.
Hoppy, we had a great conversation with Chase on Friday.
Oh, did you? How's he doing?
Awesome.
Great.
You would have really loved it. He talked all about Hungary. He's living in Hungary, and we did the whole thing. He's really having a good time. Texter, I was watching today's podcast. Did something get cut out? All I saw or heard was a reference to me scamming the system and Brad pushing back. I never heard my text comment thanking Professor Vinny for efforting. You seemed a little perplexed after your comment. Did you intentionally not read the text, or was there a live ball turnover? Either way, I still love the podcast and will continue to effort text as appropriate. Have a good weekend. So, sir, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I go through these things. There's some chopped off, goes to the next page. I just like get onto the next. Probably operator error. By no means do we intend to segregate any comments. Lord knows, not this show. Everything is on the up and up. Ben in San Francisco writes, "Hi, friends. I was deep into the insurance weeds on Friday afternoon, thinking to myself, am I going to log off at 3 or would 4 work today? Tough life we have in this industry. Well, I look up on YouTube's to see Tony playing the drums with 2 Slim Jims showing absolutely no care in the world. A legendary moment in a show full of them. Appreciate y'all." Signed by Ben in San Francisco. Thank you, Ben. We do appreciate it. And once again, confirming that insurance guys have an awesome, awesome life.
Heavy Slim Jims on the show.
Oh, was it?
Last episode.
Sorry, I missed that. Yeah.
Big ones. Like baseball bat size.
Nightsticks.
Not the
Not the
fly
fly
rod?
rod, no.
They're about that big around. It was like a good piece of conduit.
That's a little big. It's
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a workout. Oh, here's our boy. Haven't heard from him in a bit. P1 Jason in Tulsa. "Hey, guys, the last time I texted, Tony was worried about my calorie intake due to a presumption that I wouldn't be too mobile with my leg situation. Now, you remember he suffered a horrible leg injury when he stepped into a hole while golfing, snapped his leg, compound fracture.
Oh,
okay.
Well, get ready for a high and tight heater, my friends. As you can see from the video, my recovery is moving right along. The video only shows 2 squat reps at 250 because of the file size constraints, but I did 10 reps at that weight after 10 at 225 and then 10 at 205. Far from my best squat ever of 405, but efforting. It won't be long before I go for a check-in with the surgeon, and on my out, I'll simply say, thanks for having me. I'll send some pictures for a reminder about the condition of my leg in late November, early December. Look at that. So that was that was one of many pictures, but he's got more screws in there than Lowe's has. He said, I've walked 18 multiple times since I've been here, and if any of you ever get a chance, I'd be happy to host a round of golf at the Golf Club of Oklahoma in Broken Arrow. P.S. I'm in the market for a blender and an air fryer. Any suggestions? I love the show. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask our 3 guys texters, can you send it to 304-404-4883, what's a great blender and what's a great air fryer for Jason? No small boy stuff. I want the absolute very best.
First squat video I think we've ever received.
That's
He
correct.
did 10 at 225. I wonder what were his measurables? How'd he do in the shuttle run, and how'd the interview portion of the combine go for him?
What's
There
the
he is.
test
Look at
called? How do you what test?
Wonderlick.
How do you do in the Wonderlick?
Yeah, how do you do on the Wonderlick? Need to see that.
He'd be fine on
Be
that.
drafted by Seattle.
That's the guy I had breakfast with.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. And we were in Lubbock, had breakfast with him.
Oh,
Well, sure.
Yeah.
sure you did.
3 guys, P1 listener, P2 texter, because I usually just text to complain when things are going bad. You will be happy to know I have nothing to complain about. I only wanted to respond to the guy complaining about the WVA abbreviation because Hoppy is likely holding up his retaining wall till the ground dries out this summer. I am an attorney, and the correct citation for West Virginia cases and statutes is W.V.A. You won't see any WV abbreviations in legal writing. I asked my legal research and writing professor while at WVU why we use W.VA instead of WV. And he responded, because. So I just left it at that. We use the Blue Book for legal writing if you want the source. Love the show, and I'm nervously awaiting an announcement on future plans. Hashtag we want 800.
Nice Blue Book reference.
Signed by Tyler and Beckley.
Because.
That's a good
I bet you that wasn't.
professorial response.
Is that big in the legal world?
I
Yeah,
get
Because?
You know what legal professor that wasn't?
Who?
That wasn't Chuck DeSalvo.
It was not
Chuck would not
DeSalvo.
say because. Chuck would give a complete
He would.
investigation going all the way back to Gandhi.
Well, I
to
also
explain
don't,
it to
I
him.
don't think that would be esteemed law professor John Fisher either.
No, John wouldn't have done that. So we got it narrowed down. It's one of those guys over there. Text, Tony, Nico has the it.
What?
What are you laughing about? Just shaming law professors now. I know it's this. It's not John Fisher and it's not Chuck DeSalvo. It's you other clowns over there. Shape up. Give the kid an answer. He wanted to know why it's WVA. Don't just give us because. He's paying legal tuition over there. He wants an answer. Give him an answer instead of a 6th grade because.
CPAs are off the hook. Law professors stepping into the box.
You guys got it pretty good over there. Got a good view of the stadium. Good parking.
That's one of the bennies.
They do.
He led with, you got it pretty good over there. You got a good view of the stadium.
Plenty of parking.
Got a good view of the stadium. Ample parking.
Ample parking.
Guy said because to him. He's out there. His head is, he's ready to take in this information.
Try that before a judge.
Well, he got it because, and Tyler just said, yeah, okay, makes sense. I'm good.
Mr. Howell, can you justify your legal argument? Because.
Yeah.
Why not?
Strong text. Good job, Tyler. That was good.
All right. I hope we can see this
Weren't there old abbreviations of states and new abbreviations of states?
kind of like the metric system and the imperial?
Yeah. I mean, I think.
What?
But he's right. I mean, legally, everything in code is w.va period.
Do you think that's ESPN's reasoning for doing it? ESPN says,
don't get me started on that.
We're in a
Don't get me started
meeting,
on
going to go with what the Blue Book says. We're going WVA on the graphic tonight. You think they reference the Blue Book?
No, they do W period Virginia.
Oh, they do that too, don't they?
Which is infuriating. You know that gets me. You know that upsets me. I mean, seriously, I think like you guys have the time zone thing. That's my thing. W period Virginia.
WVA doesn't get you?
No. Not like W period Virginia. It's like, Western Virginia, W Virginia. No, either WVU or West Virginia or WVA. You can do that too.
Well, this puts Hoppy in a foul mood. We don't want people in a foul mood. We want people that have fun. And Lou Wendell Marine Sales, what they do, folks,
Segue.
They sell family fun. So don't be upset. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com and take a look at those Avalon pontoon boats, considered the best in the market, manufactured 100% right here in the United States. Check them out at Lou Wendell Marine Sales, St. Albans, the premier pontoon dealer in the state of West Virginia, family-owned for 4 decades. They ain't going anywhere, so check them out. All right, next up, receive this. I hope I can see this on this screen. Oh, this is good. 3 Guys board game, bingo. Look, Hop, it's a bingo board. These are things that you might hear on 3 Guys before the game. Someone gets food shamed, one. Let's just go down the B's. Fly Rod Slim Jim mention. What's the Rocco's?
Reese's seasonal shapes.
Reese's seasonal shapes are mentioned. Sports gambling is mentioned. A number is exaggerated by over 10 times the actual number. Then you go in the I, you get a Gluck. Someone spells it Toni. Ref gets blamed. Brad's mic is muted, which I thought was great because you always shut your mic off.
I don't know why you always shut my mic off.
Someone's first name is the county they live in. Then you go up to the ends. P1 listener is mentioned. Here comes a heater.
Got both those already today.
In the middle, Hunter driving the truck. Next one is an entire profession.
Yeah,
gets a heater from Tony.
The end column is ready for a clean sweep. What's the last one? Because it's hit everyone.
Someone owns land and mineral rights in any county.
Bingo. And bingo hit it today.
G, different guys keep listing things in a funny or like
John Fisher.
Chuck DeSalvo. Someone says twice. Tony and Brad Gluck at the same time. Hoppy's attendance is mentioned.
Yeah, got that.
Sam Marzano's are mentioned. Hoppy is. Can you see that one?
Hoppy has a.
Hoppy has a boomer moment. Oh, Tony,
like live podcast and ESPN
like a live
National.
Tony pours a coffee. Taylor screws up a picture, but the guy said Tyler Consolidated Tucker County screws up a picture. Bingo, bingo, bingo. The Larry King hello. And Tony does something else.
I can't see the
Tony
last name.
makes a something.
Yeah. Takes on a profession, something like that.
Hey,
N1, bingo.
the abbreviations for states have changed like 5 times over the years, and they're primarily people follow the U.S. Postal Service.
Okay.
Which is WV.
Well,
Or is it still WVA?
Right
I thought it
now-
was WV was the current postal.
Right now it's WV. But like the Postal Service in 1963 went to 2-letter abbreviations.
63. That's 59 years ago. We haven't gotten around to fixing it yet? The hell? Not good to see them.
They're still doing pre-63. For all 48 states.
In other news, Dwight Eisenhower is no longer the president. Texter. Oh, this is a good one here. This solves all the issues we've had on this topic. Hi, team. This is George in Hong Kong. Longtime listener. No longer living in Hong Kong, but now returned to beautiful Charleston. Having worked overseas for 25 years, here is the scoop on U.S. taxes. This topic, for those of you that may not be familiar, was, do players that go overseas and play professionally pay American taxes? Here we go. Every American citizen, including green card holders, pay taxes on their income, regardless of where it is earned in the world. So, if you work overseas, you must file U.S. tax returns. It also doesn't matter whether the company you work for is American or not. You still file U.S. taxes. Now, listen to this. It comes around.
Okay.
I was around some fellow Three Guys listener friends a few weeks ago when they brought up their annoyance. Oh, wait a second. Okay, dang it. Hang on. Time out.
What
That
happened?
jumped into another text. It also doesn't, wait, we'll get back to that one. It also doesn't matter whether the company you work for is American or not. You still file taxes. However, you do get some pretty substantial breaks when working overseas. Number one, the foreign earned income exclusion for 2022 is $112,000. For 23, it goes to $120,000. Basically, what this means is that in 2022, the first $112,000 that you make is not subject to U.S. taxes.
Wow.
Yes, you do pay local income taxes, but you get a tax credit for the income taxes that you pay locally. Finally, you can also claim an exclusion or deduction from your income for your foreign housing up to a certain amount, which means you can take off from your income some of the rent that you pay. So, the income exclusion may be the reason why some of the basketball players say they don't pay U.S. income tax. If they're making under $120,000 a year, for example, this year, they pay no income tax without even taking into account their U.S. tax credits or deductions of local income taxes on their housing. By the way, working overseas makes your tax returns ridiculously long. The last couple of years I was in Hong Kong, my tax returns ran over 40 pages each year. So, here's the deal. As he said, you can make 112, 120 this coming year and not pay any U.S. tax. A lot of those guys our kids that go over there and play, they're not making 110, 120. And then when they do, they get tax credits. And so that's why they say they don't pay tax.
Wow.
Because they don't.
Incredible.
That's about the fourth email on this that's presented
But this
in
one
4
makes
different
sense.
ways.
But this one makes sense, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what George knows. How do I know about George?
I like him.
You might like him. It's
We'll
fourth
be
different
back
way
on
it's been explained.
CNBC next.
Harler told us.
Tony takes every text as fact. That's the definitive word on this now.
So when the IRS calls, you just say,
George from
Because
Hong Kong said. George from Hong
that's
Kong
why.
said.
Yeah,
Send this to my accountant.
Hoppy had it right. When the IRS calls, you go, because hey,
I got a text that said I didn't have to pay any
so
taxes.
Harler's agent has the team that he plays for pay the tax. That's what he told us on Friday.
So you asked him about it?
Oh yeah,
Harler
why
about
not? He
tax
was right
policy?
there. He was right there. All right, here's
National
another one.
Tax policy.
I was around some fellow Three Guys listener friends a few weeks ago when they brought up their annoyance with the mouth clicking. It had not bothered me to that point, but after bringing it to my attention, I have joined them in cringing every time I hear it. It also seems to have increased lately, which I assume could be your response to people complaining about it. to which my text may contribute to an increase as well. But I hope not. Has efforting been applied to decreasing or increasing the amount of tongue clicks? It has really become an annoyance for the majority of listeners in my circle of friends.
Is this also from George, the definitive text?
No, this was not from George. This was different. This was that got
Who's this
copied.
From?
Don't have a name. That got copied and pasted in there. That's how it got confused with George's tax roll. So a couple of things. I personally don't want anything to make the show annoying for you. I also have heard it in the past, and it's kind of got on my nerves. I, going forward, will click less. I'm not going to say, hey, I'll never click again, because sometimes it just comes out. But I will click less. I can't speak for other members. That was really good. That was dry, too. That was a really dry one.
Really dry.
Texter, good podcast. Good podcast with Chase Harler. Are you guys going to get Gary Brown or Greg Jones this spring? Keep up great podcast. Gary Brown would be really good. And I don't know which of the 9 Greg Joneses he wants us to get.
Because we had wrestler Greg Jones last summer.
We had Greg Jones.
He was excellent.
Yeah. There was the Greg Jones that had that out-of-mind game against Connecticut.
That was fun.
That was a night.
He had a great year.
That was a night. Texter, gentleman, Logan from beautiful Greenbrier County. I know it's been a while since I've texted. I've been busy getting ready for my college graduation. Great, congratulations. I have a funny story. I work at an AutoZone next to a Go-Mart in Lewisburg, and I walked out with my soda, and I happened to look at a front license plate, and it said, Hoppy. Unfortunately, the hopster himself wasn't there, but I figured you guys would like that. Happy Easter, 3 guys.
Thank you. Happy Easter. No, I was obviously at that place in Florida.
That was the all-time great.
Hoppy, where I was.
Hoppy, to my knowledge, I asked Taylor when I came in, did you have some pictures?
I had a picture.
Okay, did we use it yet? Taylor, put that up there. What is the story? This is like show and tell with Hoppy. Hoppy, you have a picture for us. Hoppy.
Now that is nice.
That's at Chimney Top. That is about, you go about 5 miles west of Petersburg, past cabins. You get in just into the Monongahela National Forest.
That's gorgeous.
And you get on a trail there and you hike 2.5 miles up. I mean up.
How'd you do?
Okay.
Pretty
Wife
good?
and I did it. Yeah, we did okay.
That's good, huh?
And got to the top, and it's the views there are
Unbelievable.
That's you look in the back. The picture doesn't do it justice, but that's Germany Valley back there, and it goes to mile left, farther back the other way. But it's really beautiful, and we had a nice hike that day.
You see the green to the left of the picture there.
That might be a rhododendron.
Yeah.
Or spruce or something that's an evergreen.
So you imagine if you go back there 4 weeks from now, behind you will be absolutely unbelievably green. It'll be beautiful.
Tell you what, that's as close as I want to get to the edge, too. I don't like heights. And that's a drop off.
Excuse me?
That's a drop. That's a drop on the other side.
Hoppy, go boom boom.
I'm with you. I wouldn't have moved back any further.
Really, yeah, you don't like it. I don't like
Oh,
heights.
he doesn't like heights.
My legs get a little rubbery just thinking about it, but it was really, I mean, West Virginia has some incredible views, and I'm not just building it up, but that was takes your breath away.
You have any 3 guys contact with anyone on your journeys?
You know, that's a good question. I don't think I did. I had a couple people when I was at the Independence Hall in Wheeling. A couple people there said they recognized me from the legislative coverage.
Excuse me? They recognize you from the legislative coverage?
Yeah, from legislative coverage. I was at Independence Hall. That's the courtroom where the restored government of Virginia was established.
You know, this is not a surprise to me.
What?
It is not a surprise to me that you ran into people that watched you in the rotunda of the Capitol do your show because they're in there. So they're political nerdy people. So like to them, that was like going like that for me and Brad For them, that would be like for me and Brad going to a barbecue place. Like that is like that's the happening place right
And that's
there.
a statue
or the garden.
of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Of course, was signed the proclamation where West Virginia became a state 1863.
How funny is that? They recognize you from your legislative session shows.
Yeah.
Not three guys.
No, there were not three guys. Not three guys.
Pretty neat. So this is a true story. So Friday when I went over to Chestnut Brew Works, because I had a little get-together over at my place for the Final Four, and I wanted to get 2 growlers of kerchevale. So I go in, and there was a couple in front of me. Guy and a lady walks in. This is absolutely true story. So lady orders whatever she was ordering, and this big dude in front of me says, "I'll have a kerchevale." And I went, "This is not happening." So, man, I said, "You like that kerchevale?" And he says, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." He says, "It's the closest thing to Budweiser that they sell." But
hey, whatever. If it appeals to your taste,
I talked to him. He said, "I tell you what, I'm not going to say what he said, but he liked it a lot."
It's accessible. Because you know how some microbrews are like, boy, that's really different. That's too much of a pilsner, or too bitter, too this, too that. I go, no, it's very accessible taste.
It went in a hurry at my house on Saturday.
It goes down smooth.
Yeah. It went down
in a hurry at the Kerchevals too.
Yeah, went down in a hurry. So once again, folks, I hope you're hearing this and you want to come to our event. Well, I hope you're hearing this before Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on April the 5th, because our tickets for our event will go on sale, and we're going to do the live show again. We're going to have our pictures available to you, and then we're going across the street. There's a swag bag. So you get 4 16-ounce kerchevale cans. You get food, and you get a swag bag on your way out, and we'll make some announcements.
Did you say what the food is? Barbecue?
Yeah, barbecue. Okay. Yeah. Brisket and pulled pork.
Ooh.
Sides.
And hopefully it'll be nice and we can get outside. That's a nice area out there.
They got a nice little sound system out there too. We just might put on a loop, textual healing and spreads on stats.
That'd be good.
That'd be kind of neat, wouldn't it? Huh? Wouldn't that be kind of neat?
I'd like that.
Senator?
Maybe not a loop.
Think it might get a little repetitive after a while?
Yeah, maybe play it.
Yeah. Hey, folks, don't forget about GoMart. Go to the website, gomart.com, or you can go to gomart.com/3guys and sign up for all the great promotions they got going on. Got some leaked reconnaissance information from the folks there. We got inundated with Slim Jims last week.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Maybe a little bit of a care package of Reese's items coming our way.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. 3 Guys Before the Game brought
Hopefully
to us by
shape.
the Burdett Camping Center, the only warranty forever RV dealer in all of West Virginia. Visit them at burdettcamping.com. 3 Guys brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. And let's get in the water. Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans, the premier pontoon place in our state. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. Got some guests that we're lining up. Chances are we could have one of those guests with us on our next episode later this week.
Oh. Any,
Working.
Foreshadowing? Efforting?
How would I foreshadow this one?
That's all right. You don't have to.
Very polarizing.
Oh, interesting.
Polarizing. Yeah.
WVU athlete? Former athlete?
Yeah. Polarizing.
Sport?
Tune in later this week. 3 Guys Before the Game. Are you going to be here this week, or are you going to walk the Appalachian Trail?
I'll be here.
Good.
Thursday, right?
Maybe. For Hoppy, Senator, and Tyler County, Mineral Rights County, Kennedy, we're out. Thanks for being with us, everyone. 3 Guys Before the Game, episode 454 is completed.